What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, allegedly A-lease, and I'm here to give you my thoughts and my opinions on Ready to Love. Let's talk about it. Thank you so much to all of my subscribers. Thank you for your support. Special shout out this week goes to Threesha, Javon B, and Keydig. I really enjoyed chatting with you in the comments. If you're new to this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that something moves you to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. We open with the men meeting up with Tommy at the sugar room. This week, Tommy tasked the men with introducing the person or persons that they're feeling to their closest friend. So first up is Vernicia. She meets Joelle's friends and she tells them that this process has taught her a lot about herself. She also shares that though this process is about dating multiple people, she's very territorial and she only has her eye focused on one man. Now Joelle's homegirl asks, he's a little flirty at times. How are you handling this? And Vernicia says, I will admit he does use the baby word a lot, but outside of that, these ladies clearly see a difference in how he steps to them versus how he steps to me. Sis, wasn't you just feeling away? Wasn't you in your feelings last week about him giving a church peck to Amber? Girl. So after Vernicia leaves, they share their thoughts that she does come off a little clingy, but she definitely seems to be digging you. You heard me? Meanwhile, Chris invites Amber to a podcast recording with his friends. As his friends are talking with Amber, they find out that she has not shared anything about Chris with her family or her friends. And they think that this is an issue, but let me ask, why is this an issue? This is old school dating, okay? This is where you actually get to know a person and make sure that they're solid before you go and make a PSA social media announcement. Ironically, Chris makes that same announcement in his interview that this is the first time he's telling anyone about Amber. Clearly, production made him bring you all in, or you wouldn't have known about Amber yet either. It's called people getting to know each other. It's called dating. Anyhow, they ask Amber, where does Chris stand and why? And she says, right now he is definitely my number one. And it's just because we have a natural vibe. There's no force in it. It's just all natural and organic. So next, Jason decides to introduce his friends to Liz and Kyra. And this makes Liz feel away. She clutches her invisible pearls, because she thought that she would be the only woman to meet his friends. They ask Kyra if she's an alpha female, and she says, I don't want to be like Big Mama. I want my man to run the house. And ladies and gentlemen, let me say that this is what we call a representative's answer. Now I would have gave you full honesty because I want you to know how I'm feeling going in. And because Jason is sitting there listening, I'm going to tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. My husband is to lead, but he has a partner in this leadership. And as long as he understands that he has a partner in this, then we're good. And what you mean you don't want to be like Big Mama? I mean, sis, you a whole lawyer. If it wasn't for Big Mama, you probably would not have been a lawyer, sis. Now, Liz says that spiritual leadership is a must for her. And Jason really, really matches that vibe that she needs because he broke down the book of Daniel. And then she pops that little church finger up and she exits out. See, Liz, you capture me as the kind of girl that sits in church, gets the scripture, and then as soon as it's time for the word, you pop that church finger up and you exit out. You get just enough, huh? After both ladies leave, they tell Jason that Kyra really seems down to earth, whereas Liz is stiff. She's so stiff that they felt the presence of the Lord. The presence of the Lord was there. The presence of the Lord was... They tell him, listen, Liz is just not for you. Kyra just feels like a better match for what you need. And Jason says that he actually agrees. Next, Kyra meets up with AJ's friends for a game of volleyball. Immediately after the game, they fire off a lightning round of questions towards Kyra, in which Kyra says, skirt, hold up, I'm the lawyer. Now watch me work. She shares with them that the ladies have some concern about if AJ is really ready to love. And she wants to know, do you all as friends think that he's really ready to love? They share that AJ has now gotten to a place in his life and his career that he is truly ready to find someone to love. After Kyra leaves, they share that she really seemed to have her guard up, but his homegirl jumps in Kyra's defense and says, but she still seems to really, really want to be with you. She'd rather be with you, boo. Yeah. So random. Next up, Ronald takes his ladies to Belvedere. And y'all, let me say this, just a quick side note. Belvedere is my go-to spot, has been since I moved here in 2012. It is very consistent when it comes to the grown folk, no drama vibe. So just putting it out there. Anyhow, Alexis starts to size Chrysanthemum up by her outfit. Keep it cute, sis, because there's some outfits that you've worn that I don't like, okay? And I've kept my little mouth closed. Keep it cute, sis. Ronald's friend talks about how he likes to travel and asks the ladies if they would be good with that. Alexis says, well, once I secure my childcare, I'm good to go. And Chrysanthemum says, I'm a flight attendant, so I'm good with it. And that seems to rub Alexis the wrong way, because in her interview, she says, yeah, Chrysanthemum's real cute, but all sis got is 2 sentences for you. Girl, you got too many sentences for me. Chrysanthemum can't seem to handle the interview-style questions, so she just gets up and abruptly makes her exit. Alexis hangs around to give her representative answers, especially about her being confident and secure when it comes to Ronald having female friends. Now, Alexis, to your point, Chrysanthemum is not enough. But sis, you too much. On her way out the door, Alexis tells Ronald, now don't you forget who your number 1 is. God, I'm so glad that she's not running for local office. I swear I think she would text me, show up to my house every single day. Don't forget who your number 1 is. God. Now, after Alexis leaves, his friends share that they feel that Alexis is probably his best bet if he wants a change, rather than staying with someone who is just like him, which is Chrysanthemum, just kind of there. That's what they both are, just kind of there. But back to Alexis, I really do feel like people are hypersensitive or hyper aware of the fact that Alexis is a producer for Great Day Houston, and Houston will take you as a local celebrity all day long. So I really do think that this is more of a political thing, that his friends are pushing him to be with her so that he can be in this little shine that she has here locally. Now it's time for Liz to meet David's friends at Lucille's. Y'all, let me just say this real quick. Lucille's is up there, y'all. Their food is so good. I put them up there with the Taste Bar, which is the restaurant that was featured last week. But I put them up there. The only difference is Lucille's has been at it longer. And then the Taste Bar, I prefer their cocktails over Lucille's. But their food, oh my God, so good, y'all. I will say this, they're giving y'all some spots, some cute little spots that we have around here in the Houston area. They're doing that. His friends ask Liz, why isn't she married now? And sis is better than me, because I would have said, well, why isn't he married now? Liz says that she just hasn't been in many relationships. Okay, girl. After Liz leaves, they share how much they like her, and David shares how slow he plans to move. Let me say this, people like this who jump out into the dating game without actually making sure that they're ready is the reason why dating is so screwed up right now. This is the most selfish thing that you could do as a person, is to get out and start dating and you don't even know if you're really ready to move, or you have some baggage that you need to go to therapy and talk through. And it's okay to go to therapy and talk through it. It makes a better you, and that way you can be a better person to someone else. But David is totally being selfish in this moment by trying to hold Liz's time until he's ready, rather than waiting until he's genuinely ready to date someone. He wants to move like a turtle. It's almost like a car speeding to get on the freeway, and then they get right in front of you and slow down once they get settled on the freeway and go 45 into 65. This is really how it is when it comes to dating in Houston. The guys meet back up with Tommy, And Joel starts it off by saying that Vernicia rubs him the wrong way with being too clingy. And Tommy says, you know what? Nobody's 100% perfect. You need to work through that, okay? Stop creating mess. Move on. There's nothing here. Jason gets choked up that so many positive words were said about him during his date. Now, the example clip that they showed was his homegirl complimenting him. So, are you ready to love your homegirl? Oh my God, y'all, I cannot believe this. Tommy asked them if this was to end right this moment, who would you want to be with right this moment if you had to choose one person? And y'all, Joel, like no L, Joel said Kyra. Kyra? Where'd that come from? That must be French for Vernicia. Oui, cause baby, if it's not, whew, you gonna get some French thrown at you. Tommy gets his Inspector Gadget on and tries to figure out either what's going on or how long was Joel left alone with the drinks before everybody else arrived. Joel admits that he's just talking out the side of his neck because he's in his feelings that he had a communication issue with Vernicia. Whew, child, we knew better than that. For some reason, David wants in on this game too because he calls off Kyra. And this clearly makes Jason feel away because in his interview, he says, we pretty serious, bro. I mean, we kissing. How junior high is this, bro? Ron says Alexis, Chris says Amber, and Jason says Kyra. Now, as they talk about their bottoms for the week, Liz's name comes up, but Chrysanthemum, baby, her name was in lights. Joel said that he hasn't had words for Chrysanthemum ever since she said she's not trying to split her time with his kids. I told y'all last week this girl gives me Kiki Wyatt vibes. Maybe Kiki Wyatt without kids, but nevertheless, Kiki Wyatt vibes. Chris confirms that she basically told him that she doesn't want him to have anything else going on but her. Ron says, funny, I don't have those issues. Now let me say, at least Ron tried to defend the honor of Chrysanthemum, whereas David and Jason just let the bus roll straight over Liz. That's so weak. Like y'all was in this woman's face, kissing on her and everything else, but then y'all get in the meeting and y'all don't want to defend her? Huh. Later, Liz meets up with Ron, and she really wants to know, why am I here? Because we don't have a connection, so I know something's up. Ron gets straight to it and tells her that the guys think that she's kind of stiff and, you know, she really hasn't shared herself. And Liz said, what? I've bared my soul to these men. I've kissed some of them that I didn't even like. But in the end, he tells her that the guys feel that she is still ready to love. Meanwhile, Chris meets with Chrysanthemum, and Chris immediately calls off what I'm feeling. Chrysanthemum has this really off vibe that just makes you feel away. I mean, and I'm just watching it on TV. I hate to see how he felt in person. In her interview, she says that she knows that she's just being brought in for a pep talk. Okay, girl. Now, I guess her bestie, Stacy, must have got her ready for this because she refuses to receive anything that Chris is trying to share with her. So he cuts right to it and tells her, you know, I'm sorry, you're not ready to love. And she leaves with that same, off vibe. Chris, you need to be saged. I hope someone saged you after that whole ordeal. And y'all, that's where we leave it. So I want to know, was David wrong for not speaking up on behalf of Liz? And do you think that the men made the right decision in this week's elimination? Let's chat about it down in the comments. Until the next time, I'm allegedly A-lease. Peace.